Next story.
nytimes.com. Constructive proof of P equals NP Judge Keter class Cognitohazard. Safe implementation of algorithm unlikely. Butchotter.
6 to 7 minutes.
In a chilling series of events, the long-awaited resolution of the P equals NP problem, once hailed as a monumental breakthrough, has been recognized as a Keter class cognitohazard, posing a grave threat to human cognition. This sobering realization emerged after Dr. Afia Fatima Latifa Boateng, the Ghanaian logician who developed the proof, and several mathematicians who attempted to follow her work, all succumbed to rapid mental deterioration, ultimately lapsing into a coma until death.
The P equals NP problem, one of the most celebrated unsolved conundrums in computer science, inquires whether every problem whose solution can be swiftly verified also possesses an algorithm capable of expediting its discovery. A constructive proof of P equals NP would have revolutionary implications for mathematics, computer science, and cryptography.
The proof, a brainchild of Dr. Boateng, a brilliant logician who had dedicated her life to unraveling its intricacies, initially ignited a spark of exhilaration within the mathematical community. However, the elation was short-lived as she began to publicly grapple with a series of unsettling symptoms, including impaired concentration, paranoia, and vivid hallucinations. As her condition deteriorated, she was admitted to hospital, where she quietly slipped into a coma and passed away.
Dr. Boateng's colleagues, deeply shaken by her unexpected death, vowed to unravel the enigma surrounding the proof and its perilous effects. Their meticulous examination of her notes unearthed her panicked last observations, penned as she teetered on the precipice of dissociation from reality. These observations hinted at a fundamental incompatibility between human brain structures and the algorithm that lies at the heart of the proof. Her frantic and jumbled notes suggested that deep comprehension of the proof triggered a gradual disordering of the brain's sensory apparatus, leading to profound sensory deprivation, insanity and disintegration of the mind.
Those of us who have read Dr. Boateng's final observations without being exposed to the proof can only speculate, said Dr. Marta Zimond, a neurologist, but her notes suggest that she was both going blind and losing her hearing, and what she heard and saw was horribly distorted and slowed down. We think that deep understanding of the algorithm began short-circuiting the old ways of processing information in her brain, as if she were gaining new emotions or instincts or other subconscious modes of cognition. Everything was being apprehended much faster by the brain structures that have been rewired by the algorithm, exponentially faster, but the rest of the brain was still functioning in the old way. A timing mismatch between neural signals developed. We think that eventually various parts of her brain would no longer understand each other, and this incompatibility between systems gradually led to total dysfunction and death.
15 people have been exposed to the P equals NP proof and they all have subsequently died. The only reason we know that the proof exists is that the last group of researchers managed to key it into proof-checking software, which when run verified that the proof was both complete and sound. No one has read through the proof since the last researcher died 7 weeks ago.
The mathematical community has grudgingly accepted the evidence of the computer-verified proof, but the theoretical computer science community has a strong desire to find a non-lethal path to a black box reference implementation of the algorithm underlying the proof. Such an implementation could conceivably revolutionize search, planning and optimization tasks throughout industry, but such an implementation remains an elusive dream. Any attempt to code the algorithm in any sort of programming language would require the programmer to at least partially comprehend the steps of the algorithm, and that might be sufficient exposure for that person to succumb to its brain rewiring effects.
Unscrupulous business groups have offered large sums to be paid to the families of programmers willing to read the proof and attempt to code up the algorithm before slipping into a coma. But there has been strong pushback from ethicists over any such arrangement. Authorities were also growing increasingly concerned that the proof might be deliberately spread as an act of terrorism.
Consequently, the proof has been ratified as a Keter class cognitohazard, and further exploration or disclosure of it is prohibited by law in all 193 countries under the United Nations Charter. Given the danger posed by exposure to the proof, the penalty for contravention of this law is death by 3 weeks slow torture.
The initial containment classification of the hazard was safe, due to the deaths of all associated researchers, and to the general impossibility of the mathematically illiterate understanding the proof even if exposed to it. But SCP authorities settled on the Keter classification because a future mathematician may rediscover and spread the proof, as could any future artificial general intelligence as developed.
The devastating consequences of the P=NP cognitohazard have left prominent figures in the fields of mathematics and logic reeling in disbelief and sorrow. Their poignant remarks underscore the gravity of the situation and the weighty implications for scientific progress.
The loss of Effie Boateng is an immeasurable tragedy, lamented Dr. Wilton Knight, billionaire mathematician and roboticist. Her brilliance and dedication to her work were unparalleled, and her contributions to theoretical computer science will be sorely missed. However, the discovery of a cognitohazard associated with our basic class equivalence proof might mean that further research into algorithmic complexity must be curtailed, lest we uncover more of these dragons.
Echoing Dr. Knight's sentiments, Dr. Estelle Cast, a renowned expert in mathematical logic, expressed deep concern about the future of research in this domain. The P=NP question has captivated mathematicians and computer scientists since Stephen Cook's NP completeness paper in 1971, she said. The unveiling of its inherent danger serves as a stark warning of the potential perils that lie within the depths of complex mathematical theories. It may be that human beings must abandon this field, leaving it to upcoming theorem-proving AI models, which may not succumb to madness when exposed to reality, Dr. Cast said wistfully.